Rachel Zegler on the first day of casting. And I just kept looking and looking and looking, just as high as Rachel reached that first day.
Rachel Zegler was supposed to believe is just so striking that even the supermodel like Gal Gadot is supposed to be homicidically jealous of her. I mean, we're supposed to completely suspend our disbelief.
Rachel Zegler went from Hollywood's golden girl to industry outcast in record time. One minute she was being celebrated as Spielberg's handpicked star with unlimited potential.
I will elbow everyone out of the way to play the part.
And the next she was drowning in controversy and career-threatening rumors.
There was an in-depth piece, like a behind-the-scenes piece, talking about how they've been in a full meltdown about this girl for a couple of years now.
But what really happened behind the curtain of her seemingly perfect rise to fame? The truth about her relationship with one of cinema's greatest directors might shock you. When Rachel Zegler posted her video audition for West Side Story in 2018, she had no idea it would change her life forever.
Say all you have to do to make your wish come true is let it echo, 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 echo.
Out of 30,000 hopefuls, this unknown teenager from New Jersey somehow caught Steven Spielberg's eye and landed the coveted role of Maria. Her simple homemade video singing "I Feel Pretty" and "Tonight" displayed such raw talent that it reportedly left the legendary director speechless.
I mean, people thought my whole trajectory was fake, and sometimes I wake up and I think my whole trajectory is fake, but it's just a testament to taking chances.
Critics immediately hailed her as a revelation, praising her crystalline voice and natural on-screen presence. The New York Times called her performance mesmerizing, while Variety declared she possessed the kind of star quality that can't be manufactured. In interviews, Rachel appeared genuinely overwhelmed by her good fortune. "Sometimes I wake up and think my whole life is fake," she'd tell reporters with tears in her eyes. Fans couldn't get enough of her behind-the-scenes stories and heartfelt gratitude. Hollywood loves nothing more than a genuine rags-to-riches story, and Rachel's narrative checked every box. The unknown talent, the legendary director who discovered her, and the perfect breakout role in an iconic musical. Industry veterans predicted unlimited potential, perhaps even an Oscar nomination for her very first film role. But even during these golden early days, warning signs were quietly emerging. Industry insiders began whispering about Rachel's behavior on set. Sources claimed she frequently challenged Spielberg's veteran choreographers, sometimes bringing entire rehearsals to a standstill.
Every time she speaks, she gets less likable. There's some clip of her on the internet in her Snow White outfit saying, "Every hour I am in the outfit of Snow White wearing the dress. All 18 hours, I deserve to be paid for every single one." Oh, really? Are you having trouble paying your bills, Rachel? Did Steven Spielberg not pay you for your role in West Side Story? Did Disney fail to give you a healthy paycheck for, like, cry me a river? She's just exactly everything that we can't stand.
I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
While most newcomers approached their first major production with deference, Rachel reportedly questioned creative decisions from costume choices to camera angles. One unnamed crew member described witnessing heated discussions where the young actress insisted certain scenes be reshot to better showcase her performance. There was this bizarre disconnect, the source claimed. She'd be all humble gratitude in public interviews, then turn around and argue with people who'd been working with Spielberg for decades. Rumors circulated that several department heads had complained directly to Spielberg about Rachel's attitude. Most damaging were reports that she'd challenged Spielberg himself during crucial scenes, suggesting different camera movements or alternate line readings that contradicted his vision. In an industry where respecting the hierarchy is paramount, especially for newcomers, this behavior raised serious red flags. Perhaps most telling was Spielberg's response to the growing controversy surrounding his discovery. The director, known for fiercely defending his actors, maintained a puzzling silence. During West Side Story's publicity tour, astute observers noticed how lavishly he praised Ariana DeBose and other cast members, while offering only perfunctory acknowledgments of Rachel. At one press conference, he spoke for nearly 5 minutes about DeBose's extraordinary dedication and transformative talent, then merely nodded when asked about Rachel's contribution. One particularly damaging rumor suggested Spielberg privately described Rachel as horrible to work with during a dinner with other directors. This extraordinary claim gained credibility simply because he never publicly refuted it. Industry analysts noted how Spielberg repeatedly redirected questions about Rachel toward praising the ensemble cast as a whole, a classic Hollywood technique for avoiding direct criticism while subtly distancing oneself. For a director who had mentored countless young actors throughout his illustrious career, this apparent distancing sent quiet shockwaves through the industry.
She got the role not because she was a great singer, she got the role because she's a fantastic actor.
As West Side Story's promotional tour continued, Rachel's interviews became increasingly self-assured, occasionally veering into territory that veterans found presumptuous. In one eyebrow-raising moment, she casually mentioned having suggested script adjustments to Spielberg, presenting it as a collaborative exchange rather than the extraordinary breach of protocol it would have been. Studio executives were reportedly stunned when she openly critiqued certain editing choices in the final film, breaking the cardinal rule that actors should never publicly question post-production decisions. The situation reached critical mass when Rachel landed the title role in Disney's $250 million live-action Snow White remake. What should have been a career-cementing triumph quickly spiraled into disaster. During promotional interviews, Rachel repeatedly criticized the original animated classic, calling it creepy and describing the prince as a stalker.
I mean, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird.
My agent would have punched me in the face if I was up there saying some stupid what an investment.
Okay, it's great. I'm honored. I don't know why I sound so angry right now. I'm honored. Am I a psychopath?
In one particularly controversial statement, she claimed the 1937 film was outdated because it focused on a young woman dreaming about a man to save her.
Reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago. It's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power.
Disney fans were outraged that someone entrusted with reimagining a beloved character would openly mock the source material. Social media erupted with clips of these interviews, generating millions of views and thousands of angry comments. Production was further plagued by controversial creative decisions, including reimagining the Seven Dwarfs and modernizing core elements of the story. Reports emerged of constant script revisions as filmmakers struggled to balance honoring the classic tale while addressing Rachel's apparent concerns about portraying a passive princess. When the film finally premiered, audiences rejected it spectacularly. Critics savaged the adaptation as hollow and artificially progressive, with Rachel's performance specifically criticized for lacking the warmth and charm central to Snow White's character. One prominent reviewer wrote that she seemed actively uncomfortable embodying the character's innocent wonder.
I think this girl does not deserve a feature-length film, but rather...
Box office numbers plummeted far below projections for what was supposed to be a guaranteed hit. Initial projections had suggested the film would easily cross the $700 million global mark, following the pattern established by previous Disney remakes. Instead, it struggled to recoup even half its massive budget. As the backlash intensified, Rachel reportedly began canceling press appearances, giving the impression she was only interested in publicity when receiving praise. Several talk show hosts later revealed her team had requested advance agreement that no questions about the film's performance or controversy would be permitted, demands typically made only by established A-listers with significant leverage. In contrast, her co-star Gal Gadot, who played the evil queen, graciously acknowledged audience disappointment while expressing pride in the work itself. This textbook crisis management only highlighted Rachel's apparent reluctance to engage constructively with criticism. Public relations experts publicly wondered why Disney hadn't better coached their lead through the crisis, though insider reports suggested they had tried, only to be rebuffed by an actress convinced her approach was superior. The consequences of these combined controversies have been potentially devastating for Rachel's once promising career. Hollywood insiders report that major studios are now hesitant to cast her in leading roles, fearing both on-set difficulties and potential public relations disasters. Casting directors, speaking anonymously to trade publications, described her as radioactive for certain types of projects. particularly those requiring extensive collaboration or appealing to established fan bases.
What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
Production companies invest millions in their projects and are notoriously risk-averse when it comes to casting actors with problematic reputations. Several unnamed executives have reportedly removed Rachel from consideration lists, unwilling to gamble on someone who clashed with Spielberg and helped tank a $250 million Disney investment. While not an official blacklisting, this quiet consensus can be equally effective at limiting career opportunities. Perhaps most damaging was the silence from former champions. Spielberg, who could have easily rehabilitated her reputation with a single positive interview, maintained his distance. Disney executives made non-committal statements about learning from audience feedback, rather than defending their leading lady. Even co-stars from both productions offered only generic praise when directly questioned about working with her. In an industry where vocal support from powerful allies can overcome almost any scandal, this collective silence proved more damaging than any direct criticism.
That said, our primary purpose is to entertain, and where we can entertain responsibly, obviously we try to do that. We try to have a positive impact on the world, but the first thing we need to do is entertain.
Can Rachel Zegler recover from this dramatic fall from grace? Hollywood history suggests comebacks are possible, but they require genuine contrition and strategic career rebuilding. Stars like Robert Downey Jr. and Drew Barrymore have transformed from industry pariahs to beloved figures through consistent professionalism and public humility. Some PR experts suggest Rachel needs a complete image overhaul, starting with candid acknowledgement of past mistakes and a visible commitment to collaborative professionalism. Others believe her raw talent remains her strongest asset. If she can deliver an undeniable performance in a smaller film, one that generates genuine award buzz, the industry's memory might prove shorter than expected. The question remains whether Rachel will choose this path of reputation rehabilitation or continue to defend her actions. Recent interviews suggest little change in approach, with Rachel maintaining that her outspokenness represents authenticity rather than unprofessionalism. What makes her story so compelling is how quickly fortunes can reverse in an industry driven by perception rather than absolute truth. One day you're Hollywood's newest darling, the next you're a cautionary tale for aspiring actors about the dangers of challenging industry titans. Rachel's trajectory serves as a stark reminder that in Hollywood, talent alone is rarely sufficient. The unwritten rules of deference, gratitude, and knowing one's place in the hierarchy remain as powerful as ever, especially for newcomers. Whatever the full truth behind these controversies, Rachel Zegler's journey reminds us that in Hollywood, maintaining relationships can matter even more than raw talent. The industry's memory is long for perceived transgressions, but remarkably short for those who demonstrate genuine change.